Hello, ZPA community. Happy New Year. It is our first business webcast and to kick off 2017. And man, we are kicking off in style. One quick update. My co-host, the Renita Robrand, and she is in Mexico right now, helping her dad out and a little family vacation. And she was gonna do her best to be on this, but her Wi-Fi spotty. So unfortunately, I am running this show by myself. It's like when I used to do them with Kasaya, and it was like my companion wasn't with me. So I'm gonna do my best, but I'm experienced to run this. But Renita will be back, and we're gonna do a special segment just with her on specifically what she's doing in North Dakota. But I don't wanna miss this opportunity because we just kicked off the Get Lean in 2017 campaign in Bismarck, North Dakota on Tuesday. And I want to kind of share some touch points that you can lead in your community. And that's really what the topic of tonight's going to be. Next week, I go to South Dakota with Yolanda, Trisha Burns, and then we go to Billings, Montana with Danny. And we have a great movement going on in the Get Lean in 2017 tour. But I don't want you to worry about, like right now, let's say that you are just starting to share ZP8. Maybe you're just decided you're going to build ZP8. I want this webcast to be this next step for you, where you're able to start planning out what you're doing and how you can successfully build a health business. Because actually that's what you're doing with Jeunesse, with Zen. You're building a movement. You're building your brand. And that's what I want you to keep thinking about. This is your story, your delivery, your brand. And I want to talk about the 5 touch points you need. And we're going to build upon that. But I want to use what's going on in North Dakota and other pockets throughout the country on how you can build upon this and get clear on it. But before we dive into that, because that's going to be the goal for tonight, I do want to give a couple updates. So I'm going to take you to the screen here. And let me go to our YouTube channel. So anything that you're doing from a YouTube perspective, you would simply go to home, videos, playlists, and you can see right there, the playlist that we have here is going to be sharing and building with Zen. Now, what good news is this. We're going to be taking Bonnie and I, our amazing Bonnie Schrader, who manages the ZP8 group, who manages these webcasts, and then Chris Ojeda, who also helps stream stuff live. We're going to be taking these live hangout and actually start streaming them on the ZP8, the Zen Facebook page, and then we will share them within the group. So these are going to become shareable action items that someone that you know that wants to share it or build ZP8, wants to know more about some of the teaching that we're doing, the business teaching, they're going to be able to plug right into. And then I'll be able to answer questions on those actual Facebook posts. But you can directly go to youtube.com/ZenProject8, click on playlist, click on the sharing and building with Zen, and you're going to be able to see that right there. And that's where you can see a lot of this. Now, in addition, what's cool is many of you were on that Facebook Live that I just did at 9 p.m. about detox. And what I love about content that we're going to be delivering is I'm starting to write weekly blogs that will be posted on the Jeunesse Global website. And I'm going to share 3 that are there. Now, why these matter is a lot of times when you're sharing or building something and you want someone to see your point of view, you got to educate them. It's easy to say, look, this shake is great. But if you can show them why they need that shake and how it will help them achieve their goals, they're going to be much more open. If you can say, look, you need a detox. If you can show them why their body needs an oil change and actually how to detox and the science behind that, it's powerful. And then the biggest thing is if you can show someone why dieting fails and the purpose behind why, if they've ever dieted before, they cut their calories or they starved themselves, they did intermittent fasting, why they didn't succeed. And not only show them why it fails, but there's a better way and the science behind PFC every 3. Now you're starting to lead people. And this is another tool in your toolbox. You have the phase guides, but the weekly blogs that I'm delivering, that I'm working with Jeunesse with, and just a huge shout out to the social media team with Kasaya, Bonnie, Kasaya who runs it. And then you look at Nick, who I work hand in hand with, and James Quintero, just everyone behind the scenes making the beautiful things work, the recipes, the blogs, all of these tools that allow you to start showing people why they should live it, how they can share it, and how I can build with it. So let me take you over to the blog before we dive into the content tonight. So you go to JeunесseGlobal.com, and right here, there's 3 blogs, if you have not read these, that you really need to read. The first one is the importance of protein shakes and why we made ZenFuse. See, this is part of, as you're sharing and building ZPA, what you want to keep thinking about is if you just give someone a bag of shake and you say, or you have a drink this, and you give them something like that, that doesn't really entice them on why they need to use a protein shake. You've never really driven into the purpose behind it. Many people just say, oh, I'm just going to eat real food. Well, I can tell you after coaching 50,000 clients, maybe less than 0.1% can do that. People need meal replacements. They need that. And ZenFuse can be used as a shake, a protein boost, or a meal replacement. So this blog really dives into, should I use a protein shake? What type of protein should I have in my shake? And what compromises the quality protein shake? And then as you're sharing and building, this is where you're going to start looking at the competition. First off, why do you need a protein shake? It really drives into the points of it. Second, the type of protein in your shake matters. So we hear it all the time. Oh, I'm just going to get this at Costco, or one of my friends is using this soy protein. Well, we start breaking down each level of protein, from whey protein and micellar casein to just whey protein alone, to egg white protein, to plant-based protein, to soy protein, because you get what you're paid for. And this is the 2 biggest things right here. All protein is not equal, and you get the quality you pay for. It's that simple. And then we start diving into the protein shake checklist. What you actually are going to be looking for the label to ensure you're getting the results. See, I'm writing the blogs in this way. We're presenting the information in this way because this is how people love to see information. No one wants to feel like they're being sold something. We're all part of ZPA because we know the program works. We know it's based upon science. We know the products are cutting edge. We know that because we're frontline to it. We have to educate other people on that. And then there's always going to be a call to action. So once you provide information, click here to learn more about ZenFuse and the program. Click here for some more ZenFuse recipes. So not only learn more about the product and the program, but hey, what about some cool recipes? So this shake isn't just in a shaker cup. Here's some ideas behind that. This is how I'm going to invite every single person as you're reading these blogs, not to just think about them as here's a great blog to share, but look how the information is being presented. Look how the flow is being presented. Look how we're leading the reader every step of the way, because this is all part of the sales and the sharing process. And sales is very simple. To me, it's showing people a better way and showing them why they should do something and how they're going to benefit from it. So that's one blog. So please, everyone read that. The next one is start 2017 with a much needed detox. Now, this was launched when we were doing the promo. But this really dives into the science of detoxing, why you need a detox, the benefits of detoxing, the 3 simple steps. We have videos that support that. But remember, people learn different touch points. And I'm going to talk about touch points tonight, but they're going to learn different ways of information. They're going to have, you want written text. That's why blogs are so important. They love audio. That's why webcasts and podcasts are so important. They love videos, which you see a good video of me and Kasaya talking about it. Then they want online interaction. This is where the Facebook Lives come into play, and these live webcasts tonight, and then live events. These are the different ways people see and hear and feel information. So benefits of detoxing, and then the 3 simple steps of detoxing. This starts to drive home a message. And then the last blog, which I think everyone needs to read, is why diets fail and how Zen's PFC every 3 is your solution. Once again, it goes into why is dieting not with you? Now, James Quintero, he was great. I texted him. I go, how do you like the blogs? He said, oh, I really like them. They're a little long for me. So just know sometimes you need to write longer blogs to get the information across, and sometimes you do shorter blogs to get quick information in. Same with video. Sometimes it's 3 to 4 minute videos. Sometimes you need 2 to 3 minute videos. Sometimes you need 9-minute videos. It all depends on the purpose of this information. It's easy to write short stuff that doesn't inspire people to take action. But when we're talking about why ZenFuse, why protein shakes, why diets fail, why PFC every 3, this is a blog that every single person that you know that wants to improve their health should read. And I would share it with them. It talks about exactly why diets tack, why we get the diet itch, and the 2 main philosophies in nutrition, dieting and blood sugar balance. We then have a great visual, why diets fail. Any single person who's ever dieted before can simply look at this and say, cut calories, carbohydrates, lose weight, blood sugar drops, hunger cravings. They know this yo-yo syndrome. We then give them a solution. and the science behind the solution. You know, why your blood sugar needs to be balanced. What happens when your blood sugar is stable? And then an example of what PFC every 3 actually means. And then once again, a great little 8-minute video with Mia Kasaya talking about the 8-week plan that supports the concept of what we're teaching with Zen Project 8. I wanted to share these blogs with you just so you guys start seeing the flow of everything. So you're starting to understand why you need to deliver information this way, because this is all part of the training that we're doing. I want to make sure that everyone is understanding from here. And hold on, I got to go back to I lost myself. Hold on. Oh shoot. Did I get no, I'm right here. Sorry. Somehow I thought I was lost. I looked at a text from Bonnie. So I lost myself in my own stuff. So sorry about that. But that's the type that I want you to keep thinking about from the blog side and the blog perspective, is every piece of this training information, because these are training webcasts. And typically Renee and I go back and forth, but because Renita can't make it tonight, I really wanted to start going just the flow of it. So you're seeing the process, because it's not, what I don't want is this, for each of you to just say, here's information to do. And that's fine. If you're living ZP8 in the group, you read the information, you love the information, you apply it to your lifestyle. If you're organically sharing it, in North Dakota, I met some amazing people organically sharing ZP8, the great success story, and they're sharing it. It's just for fun. But if you're building, it's a high level of skill set. And that's what I want everyone on this on these series every week to understand. This is not something you get overnight. It's a process of delivering content information. You're not just someone promoting Zen. You're building your brand, and Zen is a partner of your own brand. And it's a movement that you're part of, that you're leading throughout your community. And that's what tonight's about, the touch points, how you can actually implement that. So let's dive into it. 5 touch points, very simple. Touch point number 1. And I want you to write this down. I hope you're taking notes as you're watching. Number 1, you must live ZP8. I know that sounds, Mark, you've already told us this 1,000 times, but you have to be the example. It's hard for me to see consistently. I literally get about 15 texts a week from people who say, hey, I want to add Zen into my business. Well, you know, what's my first step? And my question back to them is, are you living ZP8? They're all, no. I just, I want to promote it as a product. I say, good luck. Because the problem is this, as great as ZenFuse is, as great as the shake is, as great as the quality of the products are, it's the whole package that inspires people to take action. And if there's not a relationship to the product, if there's not a relationship to the program, there's not a relationship to the community, then people will just eventually quit doing something. So to actually share and build with ZP8, you actually have to become an example. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be a health professional. It doesn't mean you have to be a fitness model. No, I just did a Facebook Live on, you don't need a flat stomach to be fit and healthy, or healthy and active. You don't. But you have to be living an example. I met a brother and a sister in North Dakota. And brother's down about 35 pounds. Sister's a mom of 3 kids. They're both rocking ZP8. The brother has probably another 50, 60, 70 pounds to lose. Sister, super fit. But she's now starting to share it, driving it. But he's doing the exact same. See, you don't have to be the ideal body composition that you think you should be. You need to be living it, being the example of it. Because trust me, if you're living this, if you're living ZP8, people, that's your first touch point. Because without that, the energy is not there. But once you're living it, and then the energy's there, it's very, very simple. Then you move on to touch point number 2. And touch point number 2 is all about starting to reach out to your warm friends, your warm family members, starting to experiment with those perspectives. So once you live it, your touch point is you make a simple list of people that you know, that are close to you, that are friends of yours, that are Facebook friends of you. Is that Renita?
Mark!
Renita's here!
I'm probably going to be on for like 2 minutes before the wireless. They like have 3G network here, and I go in and out like 1,000 times. But I'm here to tell you, We rock North Dakota, and every one of you can do exactly what we did wherever you're at. It just was amazing, and Mark did such an awesome job of casting a vision. And even this week, we've had so many people added to our team from down in Reno, up in North Dakota. Laura Backhouse, she's tearing it up. I mean, it's incredible, the vision. I think sometimes you just need someone like Mark to come in along with all those wonderful testimonies of all the people that have had such great success. And when people hear that, I'm going to tell you what happens? Their belief goes up. And so I can't take any credit for anything because all I thought of was the rebounding at the beginning. I just wanted to start with fun because people love fun. Mark got in the rebounder too.
I know. Well, we were talking about that. We just dove into the touch points. So tell me the name of the brother and the sister. I forgot that I had it written down and I lost it in my notes. What are the name of the brother and sister?
Kyle Boyer and Erica Shilkin. They're from up in Minot, Glenburn, North Dakota. They're awesome. He's lost, I think, almost 40 pounds now. She actually got on the wagon first with Zen Project 8, and now they're just totally like taking Minot. They came down that night kind of in a blizzardy 45 below conditions, and they made the trek down about 2 hours down from Minot, and they are just doing an awesome job up in Minot, North Dakota. I think she signed up 5 people, Erica said, on the 31st. So,
and tell me about, so what I was saying, Renita, is how they're different shapes, how Kyle still has a lot to go, but his energy is so powerful. And then Erica is already a mom of 3, super fit. So I wanted everyone to know that it doesn't matter where you are, because that's the goal tonight, is you're not a Renita. Renita wasn't born overnight with Renita. You know, it wasn't like the moment, like, and I have your book here too and everything, and I'm going to talk about everything you're doing in North Dakota. But the whole thing is it didn't happen overnight. So that's what I want every single person watching tonight is it's a process. Because I know a lot of people, when we showed that video, when we were on the news, they said, I wish we had those connections. Well, you can have those connections because you didn't, right? You weren't on the media. You didn't have a book. You didn't have a website. When we first met, you were just the passion guru that you are.
I am. Yeah. And you guys got to remember, like, yeah, absolutely. This is 20 years of grinding, 20 years of in the trenches, not always my message being the most liked. I'll just be honest with you. Sometimes people thought I was radical. I mean, I was eating organic and buying organic and doing all that before organic was even cool, right? But the bottom line is I've just stayed true to that. And then when Mark introduced me to homeostasis and PFC and now Zen Project 8 5 years ago, I mean, it just was literally an accumulation of what's gone on for the last 20 years in my life. So, but you guys got to start where you are because you can build it from anywhere. I mean, I look at Kyle and Erica. They don't have a background necessarily in health and nutrition, but boy, are they building a dynamite team. I look at Laura Backhouse, just got rolling. I mean, she's like a magnet. People love her energy. She's got great character about her. She's just getting started in her Zen Project 8 journey, but people want to be part of it because when she delivers the message, she goes out on Facebook Live and you hear her baby crying in the background. It's really real. And she's showing you how she's making these protein Zen muffins. You know what I mean? And so people just love that authenticity, you guys. So start wherever you are. You don't have to be a big name to get this thing rocking. I mean, I remember some of my parties, Mark, I'm just going to tell you the truth. No one showed up. So there. I mean, no one showed up. There was many nights where Scott and we would just look at each other and I'd be like, you know what? It's okay. Next week's going to be better. And I think I've always had that childlike faith where I just really believe that our message is the truth and that eventually people will want to hear that. And I'm just telling you, it's coming to fruition. This is a big year for us. I think it's a big year for all of you that are growing Zen right now. I think this is a huge year for Zen Project 8, for Janess, for the PFC Every 3 message. It's going to be huge, Mark. So start where you are. You don't have to be you all are superheroes and superstars in your own right.
100%. So Renita, you have good connections. So let's keep talking. So the 5 touch points we started with, touch point 1 was number 1, which we always talk about. You have to live ZP8. How we have too many people who want to just jump on board of something they're not experiencing and they have no authenticity to it. So, and then touch point 2 is starting your one-on-ones with just your warm contacts. So people that your family, your friends. I know Pearl, your mom. I know it's getting the practice in because you start your journey doing that. And then touch point 3, which I haven't talked about, but we're talking about now, which you're great at, is I always teach you need 1 point. You need to choose 1, not 80, not 5, 1 point of marketing magic. And I think to me, Facebook Live is you're great at one. Blogs, all those other things are great, but Facebook Live, if you can start doing that as your number one touch point and start sharing your story, I think that's powerful. So touch point, everyone, touch point 3 is starting with one marketing piece. What do you think about that, Renita? What's your thoughts?
I love that. I love that. And you gotta start where you're comfortable. Some people, maybe the touch point is social media. Maybe it is Facebook. I'm not a big Twitter, but I'm starting. All those social media gadgets that we have now, and so many of them are free. That's the beauty of this, Mark. So many are free. Even these Google Hangouts. We have so many things at our fingertips, but I'm just going to be honest. Start with where you're comfortable. Maybe for some of you, your touch point is just simply meeting people at a coffee shop one-on-one because maybe you put something out there on social media that you started detox and you're down 7 pounds and you got 5 people inboxing you. If you don't feel like going out and do a Facebook Live, go say, you know what, can I take you out for, in Bismarck, I say, can I take you out for a Zen protein shake? Because I take them up to Bone Shaker. But the bottom line is, take them out. Find these touch points that work for you guys. It doesn't always have to be social media if you don't feel comfortable with that. But I will tell you this, it is free. And free is good when you're just starting out on this journey. And especially because you don't want to break the bank. Some people I have on my team, they do different types of go-to meetings and whatnot, but still there's like $50 a month there, So with this, it is a free, easy. And when I saw Laura do her first Facebook Live on Zen, I thought, this is powerful because she's so vulnerable. She's so authentic. She's at an exact place where someone who's watching this is watching and they're saying, I want to be like Laura. I want to do what Laura's doing, even though she's only 10 days in, Mark. You know what I mean? Think about this.
I think of Kyle and Erica. This for me, what they've done is spot on. They started living it.
Yep.
Then they started, as they lived it, people came up to them and then they started just organically sharing it with their warm contacts, their coworkers, their friends, their family. And then I talked to Eric and Kyle. Now it's about, okay, well, how can you get a consistent marketing message? And the reason I love Facebook is, and it really depends on your age demo. If you're 25 and watching, Instagram might be hot for you. You might do that, but I'm an old guy. I'm 44. So like Facebook for me is like beautiful because I can share quotes. I can do text shares. I can do videos. I can input videos. So you need one thing of consistent marketing. People come to me all the time. Well, Mark, what about this? What about that? What about this? The reality, choose your path that you want to start with initially and be consistent at it. I remember Kathleen Paredes from Houston, Texas. We talk about Facebook Lives and she was so nervous. But that's how you get a following. What everyone on this webcast, everyone building Zen, what you need to understand is you need to build your own tribe, your own following. And our movement with ZP8 is building that tribe and building your following. And it starts with your story, then people who love you, supporting you, and then branching out. And that's where our Facebook, and that's why I invite every single person watching tonight that watches this to start practicing doing Facebook Live. Start with your iPhone right here or whatever phone you have. Start with it. Do some videos. Script it, a beginning, middle, end. Next week, we're going to be doing how to do a Facebook Live. We're going to do live training on that so that you can deliver powerful content. But that is like your touch point 3 is choosing one consistent marketing piece. It could be Facebook. It can be blogging. It could be, but blogging costs money once again because you got to get a website. So you need to choose something you'll be consistent at. Renita, what is your top marketing piece that you use for people right now?
Definitely Facebook. And I am branching into some other things, like I said, Mark, but for me, it's definitely been Facebook. And I'm going to tell you, consistency is the king because a lot of people come and go in different companies, different organizations, different products, different diets. I think one of the things for me is people come to me and say, are you still doing that PFC every 3? Yeah. Why would I be doing anything else? Zen is what works. Zen Project 8 is what is setting people free. I do what works. When you're ready to do what works, call me. Because so many people, they'll go look at 14 other things and they'll come back and they'll be like, she's still talking that PFC message. She's still doing those Facebook Lives about Zen Project 8. So I think that consistency is king, you guys. You got to go in and you got to go in and you got to go in. And sometimes you'll have people say, you know what? I've watched your Facebook Live. I've been following you secretly from afar. And you know what? Your message is constant, your message is consistent. I see the results you're having and I want to get on board. It might not be your first Facebook Live, it might be your 10th. So consistency is king with those Facebook Lives.
Yeah, and everyone, that's what tonight's about, the touch points. And I'm going to have some great photos on Touchpoint 5 is about your community. And I have great photos of Bone Shaker. So we're going to, so if you want to learn how to launch Zen in a coffee shop, we're going to teach you how to do that. If you want to start thinking about how to get on the news, we're going to teach you that. But that's not where we start. We start with living it, to then warm with people sharing it, to then choose one marketing and own that. That's your goal for January. Choose one marketing thing and at least do it once a week to start building your tribe. Write down the word tribe. And then the fourth thing is, Renita's talked about this. We talked about how to build with Zen, 444 or Health Pro model, boutique facility model. We start thinking about in person, like Renita does a weekly group event. Go to her Facebook page and you see she's already promoting that event. So you have two options. You can do community-based or virtual. Virtual, you can use a web service like Google Hangouts. You can do Zoom. So if you don't feel like you have your local community yet, but you have a good virtual community through social media, then you could do weekly hangouts with them so that you're reaching more people. Or what I would recommend is you start figuring out how you can do some type of weekly group gathering that will set people up to do these group meetings so they can be introduced to Zen. What do you think about that, Renita?
Mark, I just tell you, I've always said this, there's power in numbers. There's power in hearing somebody else's transformation. You guys know this about me. I don't have some huge health transformation. I've kind of always been the same. I was kind of before skinny, unhealthy. Now I'm healthy, thin, and I know how to PSC and stabilize my blood sugar. But for me, it's never been a weight issue. So I don't have some incredible before and afters like some of you do have. So I mean, use those. Those are powerful. That is triumphant. So part of me thinks to myself, with me, I always utilize everybody else's great results in my community, in my tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So my tribe has amazing results. And so what I like to do is like Cindy Erlocker is a great example just the other day, or Mandy Hummel, the picture of the mom and the daughter flexing. I have such an awesome tribe that what I do is when I see some of those captivating stories that I think this may speak to somebody, I say to that person, can I use this? Cindy Erlocker, can I share the fact that, your husband's down 50 pounds and you're down 35 pounds, and that whole story that she wrote in the Zen Project 8 community. And when she says yes, what I do is part of how I get out there, and I don't ever hunt, I fish. I fish in network marketing. I'm fishing for people. I throw that story out there, and I just know, Mark, that story is going to speak to someone's heart who right now is struggling, who's hurting, who's praying for something that we have for them. That's what I honestly know. So for me, I do a lot of that where I utilize my team and their stories because, first of all, number one, I love celebrating them because they are victorious. I'm so darn proud of them, right? So I love, first of all, celebrating them. But secondly, what if their testimony and their story speaks to somebody else and sets them free? So I always ask and I always utilize that. So if you feel like right now you don't have a very strong, powerful story yet, I mean, use some of my stories. Say my friend, my business partner, we're all in this business together. Utilize one another's stories. I think that is such a powerful tool. I'm not in the what's in it for me club. I'm like, how can we work together to help more people club?
Love it. So everyone, those are your first 4 touch points before we get to the 5th one. So number 1, you live it. Okay. And the first 3 you own quickly. Everyone should be doing this. You have to live ZPA. Number 2, you start practicing one-on-one with warm family and friends, co-workers. As you're living it, they join the journey with you. Number 3, which all of you, I think you really have to raise your game now, is you need to get consistent with whatever marketing vehicle you're going to use. Don't worry about all the other ones. Renita says Twitter, all the other stuff she's doing because she already owns Facebook. Like she's already owning one. So start with one. Video, obviously you want to touch your audience. So I would recommend you do a Facebook Live each week. I'd recommend you do a quote or some type of story or picture post once a week. So you start showing people the visuals. You have to be great at those 3 as you start building your followers and your tribe. Your next step is that 4th touch point where you take it to another level with group meetings, virtually or in person throughout your community. Because we talked about the 5 points of leading Zen throughout your community. So you want to get to the point where you're doing weekly, or maybe you start with monthly group get-togethers. And as Renita said, you get all those transformations there, and then you have your tribe that shows up every week as a meeting and brings guests as well to introduce them. Just like if you saw the Facebook Live event, we weren't selling anything at that event. We were empowering people to end dieting and take back their life. There was no selling. There was no like, you got to do this. No, we were speaking the truth to people about how to live their best health. That's your fourth touch point. And then the fifth one, Renita, I got some pictures for you. So everyone, look at this. These are a few pictures. So 3 things. So this one right here is when we're at Bone Shaker. And Renita, so if you look right there at that picture, Renita has 2 cafes that actually are making Zen-Fused shakes. They sell them from the menu, and Zen-Fused gluten-free muffins. Now, I know the Billings, the South Dakota crew, they're all, how did she do that? So let's educate people, because the 5th touch point is reaching out to your community, and we're going to show you 4 different examples. So once you own the first 4, you can start these other little outreaches to become the guru, health guru in your community. So Renita, tell us how you made Bone Shaker happen.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you how I make Bone Shaker, and then I'm also gonna tell you how I'm making Mexico happen, because I'm talking to a coffee shop downstairs right now. But anyway, how I made Bone Shaker happen is my good friend Callie. She's worked up there for years. She comes to my exercise classes. Her mom, Sherry Kleingartner, Callie, the whole family loves ZP8. They've all done Zen Project 8. They've all lived the PFC lifestyle. I mean, they are all incredibly beautiful, strong, healthy women is what they are. And so Kelly works at the coffee shop, and I said to her, you know, she said, people want to, there was a shake shop in town in Bismarck. I won't name any names, but it was soy protein. And I just can't stand it that all these young people and these people are going to this soy protein shake shop, because I know soy produces excess estrogen in our bodies. And so I was like, in my mind thinking, we got to do something to combat that, because I don't want those young people going and getting these soy crappy shakes anymore. And so I literally said to Callie, hey, you know what? Maybe you should start having the protein shake there. Maybe you should start having the Zen-Fused shake there. She said, they are a hit, you guys. They sell these shakes like they're going out of style. The coffee shop actually orders in bulk. Obviously, the bulk, they signed up as a distributor so that they could get the bulk order pricing. And they literally just sell these shakes wholesale to retail. And not only that, they make the muffins with it. And they can't keep the muffins in stock. Those Zen-Fused protein muffins are usually sold out by probably around the 1 o'clock hour. So it really is an incredible avenue to just get the word out there. So that's where I do a lot of my one-on-ones.
That's what I love, Renita. So Renita picked me up from the airport, and we went there. I got a Zen muffin, I got a Zen shake, and that's where she does all her one-on-ones. And I love it. And we talked about the blog I wrote before you joined, Renita, that explains why soy protein's so bad. So it's, you know, everyone's saying, how is she doing this magic stuff? It's just because you have relationships, because you're doing the first couple touch points. You built a tribe, you built a following, people trust you, and then you can branch out and launch in coffee shops.
Absolutely. And now I'm not even sure if Zen's available in Mexico, but I'm down here in Mexico, and I was downstairs getting my dad a smoothie because he's having some dental work done. And I get to know the hotel manager here. It's a brand new hotel. I get to know the smoothie bar manager, and I'm like, why don't you put protein in these shakes instead of just having this wonderful banana, mango, papaya? Why don't you put a scoop of protein in there? Well, we don't know what to get. We don't know what kind of protein. I'm like, have I got something for you? So I've been talking Zen the whole night down here in Mexico. I'm thinking, is Zen available in Mexico yet? Because if not, we got to put the pedal down, because these guys need it and want it down here. But part of it is just going in there with a positive attitude. I'm super friendly wherever I go. I'm always smiling. I'm always asking questions. And I really just walk around thinking, how can I make people's lives and improve their businesses? Like, so at this shake shop, it's a great little shake shop they have here in Mexico, but I'm thinking, these old people are getting their teeth worked on. They don't just need the antioxidants. They actually need some protein, because they had some bone grafting done right next door at the dental clinic. So for me, I'm like, I really just have always thought, Mark, see a need and feel a need. So when you see something where it needs to be changed or better, why not ask suggestions? So I said to the shake shop guy just downstairs, I said, hey, do you guys have any protein you could throw into these shakes? And he goes, no. And I'm like, you should. And he's like, right? But I don't know what kind to get. I'm like, I do.
Well, that's what I love. So, I mean, everyone, that's what the 5 touch points are. You know, you live it, you start warm with your friends and coworkers. You then find your one marketing avenue. You then look at your virtual, in-person, or community group gatherings, and then you start reaching out to community. But what Renita's doing now is, because she's owned those touch points, she now then can go to Mexico or Arizona or Nevada and duplicate that. This is what we're doing here. And there's 2 more things I want to share. So here, we posted this in the group too. This is the news came out to our event in South Dakota. Trisha Burns having the news come out as well. But right here, and they just did a cool 90-second thing. Look, this is, oh, I love that. Look at that. That's true right there. Renita's little boy.
Yep.
But it was just a cool thing. It featured Zen. It featured the movement. We talked about why dieting fails. And that's just Renita, because she built a relationship, because she built a following in her community, the news wanted to come out. Trisha Burns in South Dakota, same thing. News is going to come out. But then on top of this, let me show you guys one more, because you're going to love this one. Renita loves this one. So what's cool is now let me show this. I got to still get better at how I share screens. I'm still learning that. Okay, so right here. This is the North Dakota Today, where Renita co-hosted the show, and she's their weekly Wellness Wednesdays, right, Renita? Every Wednesday you're talking?
Yeah, health and fitness expert. I've been on there for about 3 years, but now I sometimes co-host, and I happen to co-host the morning Mark was on, which was a lot of fun. And so we were hitting that. But you guys, again, this wasn't built overnight. You got to remember, I'm kind of an old broad here. I'm over 20 years in the industry. And here's what I want to say. Getting back to that 444, that business model 444, that doesn't just happen to go out and sponsor 4 customers and 4 distributors a month, Mark. That takes work. And what a week looks like for me is, yes, I host a weekly party. I try to do that every week. Now I'm in Mexico here until about the week of the 18th. So I put that out there that my party's coming that week. But in the meantime, my show is on the road, baby. And if I have my phone and if I have some samples of Zen and some Zen Fit, I'm in business. And everything's accessible on our phones. This is a virtual business, right? So wherever I go, I mean, this morning on the way to Mexico, I did a one-on-one with Angela from Fargo, who got in with the Zen Transform Kit. I am constantly working my business. And if I don't have it live, like where I can do what's it called with the iPhone? What's it called? FaceTime.
FaceTime.
I just got an iPhone, so I'm not as familiar with that term yet. But I've even been doing FaceTimes with people because I'm like, here, look at this, and I show them the homeostasis chart over FaceTime. I mean, so for me, it's not like I'm not so perfect with it. I just deliver the content. I ask the questions. What are you looking for? What have you tried in the past? How has that worked? Are you ready to permanently turn on your metabolism? Do you know how to do that? This is how. We're going to start with an 8-week run. And I just do that from wherever I'm at. If I'm in a car, I do it. Sometimes I simply call people and I literally talk them through on the computer. I say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and add you to the Zen Project 8 Facebook group right now. I want you to go ahead and scroll through that after I add you and give me a call when you're done. So for me, it's reaching out to people and kind of I don't feel like I have a super clear system other than showing the homeostasis chart, telling them what PFC every 3 is, and then showing them how to get started with the Zen Project 8 with Detox Ignite Thrive. That's my system. I mean,
your system's consistency. You do everything you're supposed to do. So, I mean, that's the goal of this webcast, everyone. It's not for you to become Renita, become me, or anything like that. It's understanding that there's simple steps you need to take to win, and you have to have realistic expectations. When I was talking to Erica, it was as she's starting to build, it's a skill set she's developing. So you have to first live it. You then actually have to share it with people you trust and know to build your confidence. You then need to choose one marketing source and eventually add more, but start with one that you own, that you're consistent. Then start group gatherings, and then start looking at how can you take your message and your tribe to go out to the community. Now, we'll do other trainings on how to get with the media. We'll do other trainings on how to partner with local health businesses. So there's a lot of different ways to leverage additional touch points, but you must own the first 4, and then that 5th one, you start just like that. Your cafe shop, schools, local health related businesses, but you want to develop your confidence and your following before you can take that. And that's our message tonight, is that owning those 5 touch points, practicing those 5 touch points, becoming great, and every week tuning into this business webcast. We're going to start streaming it live on the Facebook page, on the Zen Project 8 on Facebook page. But next week's going to be how to do a Facebook Live. We're going to walk you through every touch point so that you can own your marketing strategies. You can deliver the content, deliver the message in a way that's authentic, organic, and allows you to inspire people to be their very best. So, Renita from Mexico, how do you want to end this webcast? Because I already know what next week is. So you wrap it up with everyone.
You know what? I just say adios, and I also say this: you all can do it, and start where you are. I mean, I have always had a big vision with anything I've ever done. So I started small, and I was just faithful with the little. That's what I can tell you guys. Be faithful with where you're planted right now. Be faithful with the little. Do whatever you do with the spirit of excellence. It doesn't have to be perfect, but do it with the spirit of excellence. And I feel if you do that, it's like Mark, one time, you don't even realize you told me this, right? You don't even remember this, that you told me this, but I'm going to tell you something that Mark McDonald shared with me many years ago. And what Mark said is, when you go on the news, he said, just do each piece with this, like, excellent, to the best that you can, Renita. And he says, and guess what? Even though you might not think that's perfect, or maybe I could have done better, because sometimes after you're on media, you have some of those voices that say that to you. He says, but if you just do your best, you'll always be asked back to do it again. And you'll be asked back to do it again. And I think about that, not only in media, because I've taken that and I've really ran with that, but I take that with also with each person I deal with. I want to do when I speak to a person, I want to speak to their heart. I want to listen to what they're saying, and I want to help them right where they're at. I want to deliver to that person with a spirit of excellence. And if I do that, I know that God will put more in front of me, and eventually there'll be a crowd in front of me, right? That's what happens in this business. But if you're faithful with where you're planted right now, don't be worried about the 10,000 people you haven't signed up. Worry about the person you just sponsored. Worry about those 2 people you just sponsored, and help them to have massive success. And that too can multiply very quickly to 20 and even 100 mark. I just think it's crazy how that works. If you're just faithful with right where you're at right now, go for it.
Love it. And try not to get to put your hands in too many things. Become great at one before you move on. I love it. Renita, thanks for, you took the show to the next level by coming from Mexico. We love you. Next week, everybody, you're going to learn how to do Facebook Lives, and we're going to talk about Renita's book as well. Zen Project 8's in it, Zen's in it, so get ready for that, because it's all about you, how you can become great at your Facebook Lives. You're already great, but take it to the next level. Hey, till next week, everyone tune in. Thanks for everything. Love you guys. Bye.